Today, we'll introduce the Artificial Intelligence Arbitrage Playbook. We'll be identifying, sizing, and exploiting the structural gaps between convention and reality. Arbitrage opportunity is found in the convention-reality gap. AI acts as a structural transformer, rapidly widening the margin between institutional assumptions and physical reality. AI is a structural transformer due to four key factors. These include near-zero marginal cost, consistency without fatigue, cycle time compression, and primary source encounter. The epistemological matrix classifies reality into quality, encounter, and convention. Convention, or thirdness, includes formal structures and historical assumptions, which are easily vaporized by AI. The precisive ordering illustrates the layers. Quality is the foundation and is immune to commoditization. Encounter, or causal reality, escapes full automation. Convention, the most fragile, is highly reproducible and has the highest exit cost. System pathologies show where the loops break. This includes the intelligence blind spot, where intelligence feeds on stale commentary, audit degradation, where verification avoids reality, and the transparency deficit, where traces are hoarded. CV capture explains why mismatches are defended. An actor resists structural fixes by optimizing for a localized narrative, not market reality, making the arbitrage highly durable. The 5-axis diagnostic radar helps classify arbitrage opportunities based on evolution, content phase, magnitude, capture depth, and mismatch lifecycle. The mismatch lifecycle shows how structural pressure builds over time. Phase 2, compression, where reality comparison reveals the gap, is the ideal entry point. Convention collapses in Phase 4, release. The collapse cost geometry highlights the risk of exit. Stable positions, based on trust and direct encounter, offer asymmetric upside. Fragile positions, like contracts and stale conventions, risk absorbing cascading costs if the collapse falls on them. The 10 Edges Master Diagnostic Matrix categorizes various edge types based on their structural source, CVE diagnosis, capture vulnerability, and evolutionary stage. Mechanical edges operate on speed, mathematics, and raw processing power. These include the statistical edge, the arbitrage edge, requiring millisecond cycle time advantage, and the information edge from reading primary sources instantly. Structural edges involve exploiting system design, position, or coordination. They include the system edge, the structural position edge from controlling interfaces, and the coordination edge from enabling collective action. The reflexive and variance edges include the reflexivity edge, where the arbitrager actively shapes convention, and the variance edge, which involves small bets with bounded downsides and unbounded upsides. Human-protected edges are the skill edge, based on accumulated non-transitive capability, and the time edge, the meta edge, based on a proprietary archive of historical predictions and outcomes. The coupled human-AI architecture pairs AI's millisecond cycle operations with human ownership of quality-based functions. The human sets the boundary conditions, and the AI executes the loops. Harness design relies on the translation layer. This includes inbound flow, prioritizing context over commands, state persistence, which externalizes causal traces, and outbound flow, requiring verification before trust. Position sizing under structural pressure involves calculating baseline EV and effective Kelly. A psychological guardrail is necessary to prevent Kelly discipline collapse when an operator's focus drifts. The wedge-to-moat trajectory starts with Phase 1, using mechanical arbitrages. Subsequent phases involve perfecting the harness, creating switching costs, and finally, establishing a proprietary trust and data moat. The capture paradox asks, what survives commoditization? Durable arbitrage exists only at the extremes: irreducible human quality, like customer trust, and raw physical encounter with unique data traces. This theory behind this playbook is Quaternion Process Theory of Cognition, or QPT. The structure, design, and content aim to leverage the power of human-AI collaboration for superior decision-making. Here we summarize the AI Arbitrage Playbook. We've explored the structural gaps that AI widens between convention and reality. The next logical step is to implement the principles discussed here, focusing on durable arbitrage opportunities. If you are interested in this topic in greater depth, get the book The Artificial Intelligence Arbitrage Playbook, a Generative Pattern Language.